Mira and Harper Audio present A Family of Strangers by Emilie Richards, performed by Vanessa Johansson. Chapter 1. What do alligators dream about? I was 4 years old when I asked my sister that question. Wendy was home from college, introducing Bryce Wainwright, her future husband, to our parents. I liked him because Wendy seemed happy whenever he was in the room. The day we talked about alligators, she seemed intrigued by my question. "Fish," she said at last. "They dream about fish. Everything dreams about something smaller and weaker, whatever they don't have to be afraid of. Otherwise, they'd never get any sleep." "Sometimes I dream about alligators." I had lowered my voice in case my mother was lurking nearby. "Scary alligators." "Then you'll have to grow up to be bigger than one." She lowered her voice, too. "Until you do, sleep with the light on." Since our no-nonsense mother, Ryan Gracey, had already told me there were no alligators in the house, I knew she was unlikely to cooperate. But that night after Mom left me in darkness, my sister slipped into my room with a new nightlight. When she plugged it in, the friendliest possible alligator grinned, and light beamed through a mouth not large enough to nip a finger. I was only 4, but I never forgot the way Bryce smiled from the doorway as Wendy tucked the covers around my shoulders. "See how much bigger you are than a silly old alligator, Ryan Rosie? Now you can dream about fish, too." Wendy had assumed our mother would never throw away any gift she gave me. And she was right. The gator glowed for years, until I was no longer afraid of the dark and dreamed of other things. I know Wendy remembers that night, because for my last birthday, she gave me an alligator clock. The smiling gator, 2 tones of bright green, clutches a fish, definitely smaller and weaker than he is, while another fish swings back and forth, waiting for his turn to be eaten. Now, above my desk, the poor doomed fish was lulling me into memories of my sister. I had just consulted the clock, which routinely gains 1 minute per hour, because 10 minutes ago Wendy had texted me. "Private call soon. Be ready. No one else." As instructed, I was waiting, even though a party was getting started in the common area behind my shabby little duplex in Delray Beach, Florida. When the text arrived, I'd been enjoying a frosted mug of Cigar City High Lie and a plate of Sophie Sinecki's grilled pierogies and kielbasa. Now Sophie came inside to find me. My duplex is tiny, which is why the crew for Out in the Cold, the podcast I'm lucky enough to produce and host, was celebrating outside after fighting for space in my cramped living room for 2 hours. My office is the smallest bedroom of 2, with my desk, a chair, shelves, and files. There's hardly room for air, but that never stopped Sophie from barging in. "Crew meeting was adjourned, Ryan. Work's over for the day and tomorrow's Sunday." Sophie is Out in the Cold's administrator, researcher, and co-producer. She's 3 sizes larger than she wants to be, and her long blonde hair is turning gray, another attribute she dislikes but chooses not to address. Today she was wearing a voluminous flowered tunic over skin-tight white leggings. We both thought she looked fabulous. "I'm expecting a call," I said. "It's personal." As I spoke, the photo on my computer screen changed. A shot of my sister and me in bathing suits, arms around each other's waists, filled the space. There we were, me, short at 5'4", curling dark hair, squinting into the sun with my dimples in plain view, and Wendy towering over me at 5'9", her straight blonde hair hanging over one shoulder, a smile lighting her face. Even the sun's glare couldn't stop Wendy from looking her best. Looking at it now, I remembered the coconut and lime scent of our sunscreen, and later that evening, our mojitos. I remembered the sun on my shoulders and the air-conditioned bar where we went to get away from our parents. Wendy and I spent so little time together that those moments are etched in my memory.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?